Be the light. Likely.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening's call. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming to tonight's presentation. My name is Derek Hawkins. I'm going to be your host for this evening. We are celebrating the launch of our new business partner, Cyretha Gates. So those of you who are invited by Cyretha Gates, we want to thank you for taking out the time. You thought it not robbery to spend a little bit of time to find out why she's so excited. Also, those of you who are guests of Gloria Harrison as well, we want to welcome each and every one of you to the call. Just as a protocol, we're going to keep the videos on mute and the audio on mute because we are recording this session. But again, we want to thank you for taking out the time to come to learn why we are excited. We're excited because we are on a mission. We're on a crusade to eradicate bad health and bad debt in our communities. And first and foremost, I want to talk about your wealth. Our wealth is actually our health. When you think about your health and money and wealth, you usually have two options. Would you rather have all the money that you can spend, say $1 million, or would you rather have good health? Now, I know if I had a choice between having $1 million and having my health, I would take health every time because that is truly our wealth. Because what good is it to be somebody who has $1 million if you can't enjoy it, if you're in aches and pains, if you're on medications, if you're constantly going back and forth to doctors and they're giving you prescriptions that don't work, when you're getting surgeries and you're cutting off this and that. The bottom line is we have a solution. And what if you had an opportunity to have both? How about if you had both health and wealth? Well, that's what we're going to share with you tonight. You saw the little video that that we presented, and it talked about light. And it showed you this little device. This is an X39 patch. It's about a little bit bigger than a quarter, maybe smaller than a half a dollar, but it is a patch. It has an adhesive on the back, and it is based on light. And if you think about light, who give us light? Who created light? When you think about where light comes from, you know that if we can figure out a way to use light as a way to heal ourselves, you can actually do some incredible things. We've been able to harness the power of light using this product, and I'm going to talk about that a little more. So again, thank you for joining us this evening. You're in for a treat. If you haven't already done so, grab a pen and pad and take some notes of anything I share with you that may you want to get clarification on. But again, thank you and welcome for joining us this evening. You're going to be in for a treat. My first question to you, if you are a guest for the first time on this call, have you been patched? Have you received one of these patches from someone? And if not, by the time we finish this presentation, you will definitely want to get back to the person who invited you, and you will say, listen, how can I get my hands on those patches? They are life-changing. So again, that's my first question to you. And you have not been patched, you will, because these patches not only activate, elevate, and regenerate your stem cells. Once your stem cells are regenerated, it does incredible things. Now, you might say, you've heard about stem cells. Stem cells are generally used, very expensive. You might have heard of stem cell injection shots. There are people that use stem cell injection shots in the localized area to get rid of pain and aches. Oftentimes, it's very pricey. It's anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 for one shot. There's no guarantee that it works. Medicals, the insurances don't cover it. Some people have to even go out of the country to get it because it's considered illegal in some places. But the bottom line is there has to be some benefit to stem cell technology if you can figure out a way to use it in a way that's beneficial to those who use it. And we're going to talk about that. Now, why am I talking about the X39? The X39 actually is important because by the time we turn 30, half our stem cells are inactive. And by the time we turn 60 years of age, nearly all of our stem cells are inactive. Now, that's very important because stem cells make up the tissues, the organs in our bodies. They are the intended repair system of our body. So generally, when we have something go wrong in our body, it is our stem cells that are first to react and deal with it. And I want you to think about this. When I was a child, I can remember breaking my arm, jumping off the fence, and doing boy things. And I was put in a cast with like a soft cast, and it doesn't seem like it was on for maybe a week or two. But once I got out of the cast, I was like brand new. I was out running and ripping again. If you got a scratch or a bruise when you were young, you might remember how quickly you healed. That is because the younger you are, the more intact your stem cells are. But by the time you turn 30, you start getting 40, you notice things start to slow down. You start to ache a little bit more. The older you get, have you ever actually injured yourself in the middle of the night? Where you went to bed fine, you woke up with a sprain, some part of your body. How does that happen? Again, our stem cells are dormant, and the less active stem cells that we have, the slower we heal, and the faster the effects of aging kick in. That is why you start to see people in their younger ages getting injuries and things that are like diseases in that they didn't get and symptoms that they didn't get if you go back 30, 40 years ago, but now you have people in their 30s getting diabetes and having all kind of challenges that you normally associate with older age. Again, so there's other stresses that we deal with, not only the air, the water, the food that we eat is not the same, but we all, how about the stresses of life? Those of you who work for a living, you know that if you go to work, it's a lot of times 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life, you work for someone and you retire on about less than half than what you would, couldn't live off in the first place. Not only that, you don't get the same benefits. And most people, when they work for a living, when they exchange their time for money, they work just hard enough so they don't get fired. And most companies pay you just enough so that you don't quit. But again, the less stem cells we have, the slower we heal, and the faster the effects of aging could kick in. Now, millions of people experiencing the effects of aging. In fact, it's almost become normal to have friends with a walker, a cane, a wheelchair, people to walk with a limp, the adjustments to where they walk. It's become normalized because so many people are experiencing these things. But as I said, we have a solution, and I'm going to talk about this X39 and why it's important to you. Now, let me talk about first and foremost the person who invented this tremendous technology. And the reason it's called X39 because there were 38 attempts to get to this point. And on the 39th trial, that is when he discovered this tremendous invention. This gentleman, David Schmidt, he is the who's who amongst inventors in the world. He has over 130 patents. In fact, we have to almost change the slides after every other presentation because now he has over 180 patents. He's a scientist and inventor. He is also the owner of the company. He specializes in what we call age reversing technologies. In fact, out of the 130 patents that he has, over 70 of them are dedicated to age reversing technology. In 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. And again, he spent about 10 years and $4.5 million of his own money to bring X39 to market. Now, this is not Dave's first rodeo. Over 20 years ago, he was contracted by the U.S. government, in particular the Navy SEALs, because they wanted him to develop something that they could use that would allow the Navy SEALs to stay alert for more than 36 hours without having that crash that you get from drinking coffee or taking medication or energy drinks. He discovered his first energy patch over 20 years ago, and he's been on a tear ever since. So this is not new for David. Again, he's been around for a long time, and he's dedicated his life to figuring out how to heal people. Now, I'm going to show you a patent that he has. And here's one thing you have to understand about patent. David has a patent on this technology. In fact, here's another about 15 years left on this technology because it was discovered a few years ago. But it is a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, and your pain relief via non-transdermal container. That just simply means it doesn't penetrate the skin and it's contained in what looks like a bandage. And I showed it to you earlier. This is what it looks like. It's a miracle. I call it a miracle. Now, this non-transdermal apparatus, it reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate something in the body called a copper peptide. You might want to write that down. It's called GHKCU. It is a copper peptide. It is in the body. It's a protein in the body. Why is that important? Because back in 1973, another scientist and inventor named Laurent Picard, he spent his years, most of his life, trying to find a cure for cancer. Now, he didn't find a cure for cancer, but what he did discover was this copper peptide. And the way he discovered it, he was spent years trying to figure it out. He actually did what his family does. He came up with a family of 15 ministers. They said, listen, when you're not sure, when you get in trouble, when you don't have an answer, what do? You pray to God. And what did Lauren Picard do? He prayed for finding the best way of healing people's bodies. He discovered the copper peptide. Now, the benefit of the copper peptide, and if you go back in 1973, what he discovered was that if you can figure out a way to activate your copper peptides, it will wake up those dormant stem cells that nobody told us was going to sleep. And that's the benefit and the beauty of it. Now, I'm going to show you again how it works. It is a proprietary form of phototherapy. Proprietary just simply means he has a patent on it. Only he has it, and he discovered it. Phototherapy is not new. If you go back hundreds, thousands of years, you will find that they use different forms of glass and light to create different effects. So phototherapy is not new. In fact, as a kid, I was very inquisitive. I remember having a magnifying glass, and I was out in the park, and I found a bundle of leaves, and I said, let me see if I can use this magnifying glass to burn a hole in a leaf. And I was able to literally burn a hole in a leaf because I harnessed the power of the light. So again, phototherapy is not new. It's something that's been around for years, and it does have benefits to it. Now it's a patented nanocrystal technology. Nano simply means small crystals, and the organic salts and sugars. There's no stem cell in the patch. That's the beauty of it. And then this technology is non-transdermal, which means it doesn't penetrate the skin. It reflects light to activate your dormant stem cells. And if you think about it, if you've ever seen people in night vision goggles, when they wear night vision goggles, they can literally see someone moving in the dark. Now, how is that possible? Because our body emits wavelengths of light and heat, infrared light, and certain frequencies. And so we're constantly emitting a light. We are light beings. Remember, we are created by God because we are light beings. And just like when we get vitamin D, the way you get vitamin D is you go out into the sun, and it's not that we get vitamin D from the sun. What happens is certain frequencies of light transmitted from the sun, when it hits our body, it activates the vitamin D that is already in us. It's already God given. So we already have vitamin D in our bodies. We just have to go out in the sun so God can activate it for us. Well, David, used this same thinking and said, well, if I can figure out a way to reflect light back inward into the body at a certain frequency, maybe you can activate and wake up those dormant stem cells. And after 38 tries, guess what? He created X39. The great thing about it, there's no drugs or chemicals. We are so used to, and we are so, and we are like hostages to what I call the pharmaceutical cartels. They recommend prescriptions for us and drugs. I have a lot of respect for doctors, but when they go to school for training, they go to learn about how to treat something after the fact. So after you get an issue, they learn, okay, what do we do to treat it, to soothe you, to give you temporary relief from it. And oftentimes, those drugs that they give us are lifelong drugs. And I've seen people with 7, 8, 10 drugs that they have to take a day, and I just can't figure that out. Particularly when I read some of the side effects. Some of them say, if you take this particular drug, it could lead to a heart attack or death. I don't know about you, but that's not a good choice. However, we are a solution for you. We have this patch, again, that there's no drugs or chemicals in it, and it's 100% non-invasive. So that is how this patch works. It's very simple. It takes the light that our body already emits, it reflects it back inward, it activates our copper peptide, and once your copper peptides are activated, guess what? Your stem cells wake up and they start looking around to see what your body needs. Now I'm going to play a short 3-minute video. It's going to actually explain what I just shared with you in a simple form. And after that 3 minutes, we're going to come on the other side and tell you a bit more about how to wear that patch, where you can get it, and some of the things that happen when you start wearing these patches. So just stand by and I'll see you in another 3 minutes.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, the patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
Yeah, that was just a short, again, summary of what I explained. Very simple. This patch actually reflects the light that your body emits naturally. And because it reflects at the right frequency, it actually wakes up those dormant stem cells. And it does things like increase your strength and it reduces your inflammation in the body. Your energy and vitality improves. You have increase in stamina. Your mental clarity kicks in. Have you ever walked into a room and you forgot why you walked into the room? And you walk back out, or have you ever walked into a room with glasses on your head and You ask somebody, hey, has anybody seen my glasses? Again, this helps you improve your mental clarity, your thought, your memory. It restores your muscle and skeletal conditions. So again, a lot of people that have challenges, athletes, workers, people that on their feet all day have benefits. Your improvement in sleep and improved skin appearance. Now, I've actually experienced every benefit that you see here over time because of the cumulative effect. But when I first was introduced to the patch, I wanted to use it because I had discomfort in my lower back. A friend of mine gave me this patch, and again, I'm an engineer, and as engineers, we are very skeptical. We like to analyze things to death. So I did my research. I looked it up. I already knew about stem cells, but it really got my attention. And so for the first week, I didn't notice anything, but my wife did notice something because I have sleep apnea. I didn't tell I was using the patch. She said, I noticed you have been sleeping like a baby. You've been sleeping long. You also haven't been snoring. What happened? I said, well, I'm using this patch because I really want to deal with this discomfort in my lower back. And in 3 weeks, the discomfort went away. I was going to physical therapy twice a week at that time. Guess what? I have not been back to physical therapy for my lower back for almost 2 years now. So again, my mental clarity because of my the improvement in sleep is already, as I mentioned, that happened right away. My skin improved tremendously. In fact, I'm an athlete. I play basketball at a high level, and one of the things I hate as a not sure I hate, but I hate when my nails get long because when you play basketball, you're using your hands a lot. You can either scratch somebody, you get your nails pulled back. So I always keep my nails very low. Since I've been using the patch, now my nails grow back almost 3 times quicker than normal. I have to constantly cut them and clip them. That might be a benefit for those of you. Again, your nails are important. Again, your skeletal condition improves. Your skin appearance. People tell me I look younger when I see them. Again, so those are some of the benefits of the X39. Here are the long-term results of wearing a patch. In the first few days, 4,000 of your genes begin to reset. So you may wear this patch for a couple of days a week. You might not even feel anything. But believe me, there's something going on in your body that you cannot see because your body, the patch is smart and your stem cells are smart enough to know what your body needs the most. It may not be just pain. It may be your heart, maybe your liver, and maybe it's something that you've had chronically. If you think about how long it took us to damage our bodies, you want to give this thing time to work. Again, that's important because if you drink enough red wine, it is said that you can actually restore 2 of your genes or reset 2 of your genes. So, can you imagine how much red wine you'd have to drink to reset 4,000 genes? Again, it's incredible. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. I'm going to share with you a scan of a 77-year-old woman. And this woman, again, you're going to see proof through a brain scan that her brain becomes balanced within 6 weeks. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Again, that's very important. Again, as an athlete, it's important to have cushion between your joints, all the running and jumping and other things that you do. But it's good for your skin, for the tightening of your skin and other parts of your body, your nails. So collagen is very important. In fact, people are spending a lot of money, and a lot of products now have collagen in it. But what if your own collagen restores through your own stem cells? Wouldn't that be even better? Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age by 8 years. I'm gonna say that again. Within 6 months of using the patch, your heart reverses in age by 8 years. It has been proven because if you think about our lives. We have two ages, I say. We have how long you've been living on Earth, your physical age. You've been here, let's say you're 60 years old, you've been around for 60 years. But a lot of times when they measure your heart, they measure it by how strong your heart is, how good your blood is flowing. So you can be 60 years old and have the heart of somebody in their 70s because you didn't take care of yourself because you're eating a lot of the wrong foods. You don't exercise. You don't move around a lot. You don't drink enough water. But you could be that person who's athletic, who continues to work out, who eats the right foods. And now, even though you're 60 years old, you have the body of someone maybe in their 50s. So by wearing this patch, and this has been proven both through the urine and blood, people's heart are reversing in age. So again, that is one of the benefits that you want to take heed to. It's not just anti-aging; it is age reversing, and that is a direct quote from David Schmidt. He is the CEO and inventor of this incredible patch. Here is the brain scan I talked about. This is the brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. In the far left, you see the first week that she went in. They put the patch on her. They did a brain scan before they put the patch on. They saw the reddish orange area that represents inflammation in the brain, lack of brain coherence. That's when people start forgetting things and losing things. They can't remember. So they came back 3 weeks later after wearing the patch every day. Session number 2, if you look in the middle, you notice that the inflammation is gone. She has improved brain coherence. And as you look at what happened 6 weeks later, complete turnaround, better brain coherence. Now, even though this is a scan of a brain, this could very well be someone's heart. It could be your blood. It could be your bone structure. It could be your liver. It could be anything else that's happening in your body because our body is made of stem cells. So if this is happening in the brain, guess what? It's happening in other areas of the body. How do you wear the patch? Very simple. You wear the patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off to repair and rejuvenate. So let's say you put the patch on at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you take it off at 8 o'clock at night, and then you throw that patch away. Ladies, do not give it to you use patch to your husbands. And again, so you get rid of it because it is known, it's well documented that our bodies repair and rejuvenate when we are at rest. So at night, that's when your body repairs and rejuvenates. Throw that patch away. Guess what? Get up at 8 o'clock the next morning and put another patch on, wear that for 12 hours, and just repeat. You can wear more than one patch at a time, but generally one X39 does what it needs to do. Again, it's very powerful, and again, but you can wear up to 2 patches, but all you need is one X39 to do what it needs to do. You want to make sure you're drinking plenty of water, preferably alkaline water, water with minerals in it, healthy water. It's gotten so bad that every once in a while when I go into my kitchen late at night and I turn on the faucet, I can literally smell a hint of bleach in the water because I guess that's when they clean it or cleanse it. Again, so you want to drink good water because it's going to help you. And it's so important to drink water that is why anytime you go into the emergency room, what is one of the first things they do when you roll you into the emergency room? They hydrate you because we don't drink enough water. So drink plenty of water. X39 is so sophisticated yet easy to explain. I'm going to take this opportunity. We're going to have some testimonies, particularly from our host and our special guest, again, Cyretha Gates. This is her launch call. I'm going to ask her if she can unmute and come off camera and share her testimony with us. Mr. Cyretha Gates, can you come on and share your
Yes, can you
testimony?
hear me? I'm trying to put the video on.
Hold on, let me just hit a button and you can put it on. Okay, go ahead and start your video. You should get a message, start your video. There you
Yes.
go. Go ahead,
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And good evening to you, sir. I truly enjoyed your introduction. I was excited when Dr. Gloria Harrison came to our table in the senior center in Delaware and was inviting us to a meeting she was getting ready to start in one of the conference rooms about the stem cell patch and its healing. And she said, anybody got any pain? I'm like, yeah, I have a sciatica pain. I had a sciatica nerve pain in my right leg. So she said, here, put the patch on. So I'm looking around. I don't know if I got up and went in the ladies' room or just looked around to see if anybody was looking, but I put it on my hip right away. And as we were talking, and she was telling us more about it and others, it was about 9 of us or so, or 10 of us. And I don't know when it happened. She said, she turned to me after a little bit and said, how are you feeling? I'm like, it's gone, it's not there. I just stood up to make sure that it was gone. So that was wonderful. And that was last year. So March 6th, I finally got started. And thank God I do sleep better at night. I live by myself, so I don't know if I snore or not, but my sleep study showed that I did. So I'll have to maybe do that again to see if that's improved. But I thank God I'm able to sleep to the night, and I'm looking forward to better days, better health ahead. Thank you for my space.
All
Back
right,
to you,
thank you for
sir.
sharing. Yes, sir. We're going to meet you and set up the video, and we're going to ask our next testimony, none other than Miss Gloria Spignaz, also known as we call her well, we used to call her Candy Cane, but we had to change that. Once she started using the patches, she didn't need the cane as much, so we changed her name to Candy No Cane. So Miss Candy Cane, can you come on and share your testimony?
Yes, sir. Oh, there I am.
There you go.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for allowing me to share tonight. And I can't say enough about these patches. And I didn't even realize come next month I will be in microwave for a year already. I
Wow.
can't believe it.
Fantastic.
Well, anyway, I started out with the patches, and I've always looked young anyway, but I'll tell you what, I think the patches have made me even look double, quadruple young. And I had somebody say something to me the other day and said, you look like you are 30. I said, no, I don't think so. But I'll tell you at the end of my testimony how many years young I am. Anyway, my dentist, I go to my dentist pretty regular, and they had told me that the plaque was not as much as it always had been in the past. My chiropractor and my knee doctor both told me I don't have to come back unless I necessarily need to. And I used to have pain in my ankle really, really bad. I had a really bad experience years ago. And but there's no pain in my ankle anymore. My knees don't sound like snap, crackle, and pop like they used to. My energy has always been good anyway, but it's through the roof still. In fact, I've told all of my girlfriends and friends have always said, you need to slow down, you need to slow down, you need to slow down. The bags under my eyes have pretty much dissipated. My personal care, my personal care physician, she took me off of my blood sugar medicine and halved my blood pressure medicine. My eye doctor, when I last went to him, he said, "Oh my goodness, Miss Spigner, you look so young." And I said, "Well, I keep telling you it's about the patches." And he said, "My eyes have improved tremendously. I had a lump under one of my arms, and the lump is totally gone. That's the only other thing than the supplements that I use and drinking hydrate water, um, alkaline water. Is the only thing I did different was the patches, and it is gone." And my latest testimony is that the urologist, I used to have a bunch of UTIs, and the urologist gave me a complete bill of health the last time I was in. And as Brother Derek said, that I haven't had to use my cane at all, almost, I guess, for about a year now, come think of it. And I am, as of November, I am a blessed 80 years young, and I thank the Lord for LifeWave, David Schmidt, and Dr. Stroman for introducing me to the patches.
Thank you, Candy No Cane, for sharing the testimony. Appreciate that. And those of you, again, have heard from a few people that have had experience. And again, we have thousands of people that have the same experience. They have the ability to have changes. So I'm going to now shift gears and we bring my screen back up. So again, we have thousands of testimonies. Again, you can check with the person, get back to the person invited you, and they will share with you so many more testimonies that we've experienced. So again, X39 sounds so simple, so sophisticated, I should say, but simple to explain. Again, it's a non-transdermal device. It's about the size of a quarter. You put it on your body wherever you can put it anywhere in the body. It works effectively, and you wear it for 12 hours on. Take it off, discard it, get some rest, drink plenty of water, and wear it again. So again, it's very simple to apply, and anybody can share that with anybody that they know. So now let's talk about what you heard in the first half of this presentation. We talked about your health freedom. We talked about wealth. But again, when I say wealth, just that's synonymous with your health, because that's your former, your wealth. Your health is your first wealth. Again, by sharing this patch with others, you figure out a way for people to get off medication, to get rid of pain, as your sciatica pain, sleeping better, improving the strength and energy. You now have health freedom, so you need to share with other people. It would be selfish if you didn't share what you now know about what these patches can do for the people that you love and care about. Now, this opportunity offers you an opportunity to have financial freedom, because if you share the patches with other people and they share with other people, guess what? You can start to generate a secondary income just by helping other people. How many other opportunities are out there where you can literally get compensated for helping other people heal, get rid of medication, restore their strength and energy? Again, once you have your health and financial freedom, guess what? You can now have time freedom. And my question to you, if you're on for the first time tonight, what does freedom look like for you? And I'm going to share with you very quickly what it looks like for me. The reason I do this business because I take care of my mom who retired well over 25 years ago. And again, so what I do is my why is bigger than me. Like she retired over 20 years ago, and the income and the retirement that she received 20 years ago is not going to cut it today. So this allows me to take care and help my mother. And what's important to me is faith, family, and fun. As you can see, these are pictures of my family, myself and my wife, my kids, my grandchildren. That's my beautiful granddaughter waving hello to all of you who are watching for the first time. That is me and my wife. We both got an honorary doctorate in for what we did in community service for humanitarianism. Again, those are things that are important to me, helping other people. And this opportunity is the epitome of allowing you to help other people not only heal, get better, but also create wealth or secondary income. So you want to share that with other people. Now, I want you to put on your business hats as I start before I close out this presentation. For those of you, again, who may be interested in the secondary income, or maybe you're not interested in the secondary income, but you would like to receive a thank you check every once in a while for sharing this opportunity with other people, or you just want to help people. Again, maybe you have something you want to help. This is a 20-year-old company. They're open in over 75 countries. In fact, the reason that this opportunity is unique is because it is not a Me Too product. And what do I mean by that? It's not a weight loss, skincare, vitamins, supplements. There are a lot of companies that offer these products. Some of them are very good products. And there's nothing wrong with those products. It's just that there are so many ways you can get them. You can get them through a lot of other companies. You can get them through Walmart. You can get them through Amazon. You can get them through the gas station. You can even get supplements at your local gas station, believe it or not. Again, the company in 2021, they did $20 million in revenue. In fact, they got started 20 years ago. Guess what? Their first year in business, they did $17 million in revenue. So they averaged about $20 million in revenue for almost 20 years until they introduced the LifeWave X39 patch. And look what happened from 2021 to 2022. We went from $20 million to $320 million in revenue. Then we went from 320 to 430 million in 2023, and last year we did over $600 million in revenue. And the goal for this year is to exceed $1 billion company. And again, we're part of a team called This Is the Team, the number one team in the company. We have a goal to build a company to well over $1 billion in 2025. And those of you who decide to want to take part in that, there's plenty of time and room for you to take advantage of that as well. Now, this is just a snapshot of a rank. The company was just ranked the number one company in momentum by businessforhome.org. Businessforhome.org is a media company that evaluates, tracks companies, and determines their success and growth. And we are number one in momentum in the world for the second year in a row. This is one of the awards that we receive. It's called the Bravo Awards, which is given by the Direct Selling Network. The event you see on the left is actually a team event. That's not a company event. That is our team 2 years ago in Florida. They had an event. They have another event coming up this summer as well. On the right, you see some of the executive team receiving an award last year, and they did it again this year. This company, even though it's a 20-year company, they just had their first grand opening. Imagine a company's been around for 20 years. They never had a grand opening because now they have a reason to have a grand opening. They have this new beautiful building behind it, state-of-the-art technology in Utah. Again, so this company is going places and they're just getting started. It's like a 20-year-old startup, if that makes sense. Now let's talk about compensation. The company actually compensates you in 4 distinct ways. I'm just going to cover 2 because I'm going to explain it to you in the simplest way I can. If you share these patches with someone and they decide they want to use these patches where they want to just use them for themselves because of the health benefits, or they want to generate a second income, guess what? You can get rewarded for that. You can get compensated for sharing with other people. So bottom line is, if you like talking to people and you want to share good news with them, guess what? You can get compensated for it. We have one of the ways we get compensated is called a binary. A binary simply means 2. That means you have a left side and a right side. It's like giving people opportunity to open up their own mini LifeWave franchise. So again, once they get open a franchise, if you help 4 people start their franchise, guess what? You position yourself to become what's called a manager. That's the first position that we strive to accomplish. And then once you become manager, you can earn up to $25,000 per week in this binary structure. The beauty of a binary is that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. For example, if you have 2 people on your left and 2 people on your right, there are people that got started before you. Those individuals are above you. They're either on your left or right side. And guess what? They're also still enrolling people on their left and their right side. And guess where those individuals go? Directly under you. So now you're getting compensated for people that you didn't even enroll. As they share and use the patches, rather, it generates what we call volume, and volume converts into cash or value. So again, very simply put, in the binary, two left and two right. How many people don't know at least two people that are overworked, underpaid, looking for an opportunity, sick and tired of being sick and tired? Or, some people have that all in one family. So again, you can share this with as many people as you want. But once you get those 4 individuals to get started and they start to share with other people, guess what? You are now a manager and you have an opportunity to get compensated for that. Now, it cuts off at $25,000 per week, but that's not a bad cutoff when you think about it. That's over $1 million per year. Okay. The only thing better than getting what we call up to $25,000 in your binary is what we call a matching bonus. This is where you have unlimited income potential. And the way the matching bonus works, when you sign and enroll a new partner, a brand partner, and they become and you become manager yourself, you will earn a 25% commission, 25% of whatever they earn. Let me give you an example. Let's say you introduce me to LifeWave. I decide I'm going to share it with my family, my friends, which I did, and I become manager. And let's say I had a good week, and let's say I earned $1,000 this week. Guess what? You will earn $250 this week because you introduced me to the business. Now, you can introduce as many people as you want, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100. There's no limit to the number of people that you can share this opportunity with. However, whoever you share with, you're going to earn a 25% match when you become manager. Now, obviously, I know people that you don't know. So I started sharing with people that I know. They are my first generation, but guess what? They're in your second generation, your second level. You're going to get a 20% match of whatever they earn. So let's say somebody in your second level earns $1,000 this week. You're going to earn 20% of that, which is $200. What if there were 10 people on your second generation or 20? There's no limit to the number of people that you can share with and the people that we share with. And the tendency in these types of businesses is that the further away it gets from you, the bigger it gets. Now, it ends at the third. You go to another level, to your third level. Again, you get paid another 20% on that level as well. So again, that's called a matching bonus. You have unlimited income potential. We have thousands of people that have already exceeded $25,000 per week in the binary, and now they're also earning income in the matching bonuses. That's only 2 of the 4 ways we get compensated. For the other ways, again, we cover that in our training and our other presentations in more detail. For those of you who get started, we will walk you hand by hand and show you how to build this business and have success. Now, to get started, it's very simple. You have 3 plans. You have the good, better, and the best plan. The good plan is called the core plan. Again, the core plan is generally a $25 membership, annual membership, but that is waived if you get started with one of these 3 packs. And at the core position, you're going to get a sleeve. You're going to get 3 of these. One of these is a 30-day supply of patches. So if you're working with a spouse or significant other, you need a 30-day supply for yourself. 30-day supply for your spouse or significant other. And the other one is you want to give out samples. Cyretha found out about this opportunity because somebody gave her a sample. So you're going to need that to build your business. Now, that's for somebody who, again, who's just want to get started. They want to experience the power of it. And you want to have no less than a 90-day supply of these patches. Again, give it time to work. Everybody's different. Some people get an immediate experience like Cyretha did. Some people will take weeks. Some may take months. But again, those things are working. You may not be able to see it, but believe me, behind the scenes, it is working in your favor. So again, at the very least, you want to get started at the core. For those of you who are a little bit more serious and want to build a team, you can get 6 of those sleeves for $535. Get a little discount on it. Again, you need one for yourself, one for your significant other, and you have more sleeves to share and build your business. But if you're serious about building, like anyone else, like a franchise, you want to get started the best way possible. And you want to get started at the premium pack. The premium pack is $1,750, but you get 20 of these sleeves. Now, as a retail customer, if someone wants to purchase a 1 month supply of these patches, it costs $149.95 retail. And you as a brand partner earn $50 every time someone purchases retail. However, if you want to get a benefit as a brand partner, you get it for $99 per sleeve. But if you get the premium pack, guess what? It goes down to $87.50 per sleeve. So not only are you saving over $250, you also have the benefit of having more sleeves and more business, more inventory. Again, these are the things that you want to start with. So these are the 3 options: core, advanced, or premium. And in one of the things you have to do, want to make sure you do, is have a monthly subscription. Why? If you want to be healthy, you want to have at least one of these every month. You want to have a 30-day supply on hand just for yourself. What that also do, it allows you to maintain your volume. Remember, I showed you in the binary, there are people that are constantly placing new people are joining underneath you, and they're representing volume. And that volume converts to the dollars eventually. The way you allow that to accumulate is by at least being on a 1-month subscription. You need to be at a minimum 1-month sleeve. That allows the volume to continue to grow. If you want to maximize the compensation plan, because again, if you get to one sleeve, you can make up to $100 per week. However, once you become manager, that goes up to $1,500, and it goes all the way up to $25,000 at the highest level. But you need to have a 2-sleeve subscription to be a manager, but also to maximize the compensation plan. That is your inventory. That is your for the month. Again, if you start a franchise and that's all it takes is to have a $200 ordership. Again, most people would love to have that as the overhead, and it's not just overhead, because think about the value of having these patches versus the cost of not having it. The cost of health, the cost of going back and forth to the doctors, the cost of prescription drugs, and all the other things. So again, the importance of being in a multi-subscription is very important from the beginning. So make sure you do that when you get started. Now, for those of you who want more information, again, if you're like me, I'm an engineer, so I obviously want to deep dive into the business. Go to thisisatinfo.com. And from that's where you'll find the information that you need. The question that you need answered are there. They're not on Google. They're in thisisatinfo.com. You can hear about the testimonies. You can the case studies. The patents are there. There's a testimony. There's also a presentation by David Smith himself explaining how he developed the patch. There's a presentation by a doctor in terms of why he is a brand partner. And again, we have another site called thisisateam.com. That's the site that we use to help build our business. It's a turnkey system. So everything that you need to know: how do I sign up a customer? How do I sign up a brand partner? How do I, where can I review the compensation plan? How do I set up my wallet? You determine how you get paid on a regular basis. So all those things are there for you. Even the words to say, the scripts they give you. If you're somebody that's an independent type of person who's a go-getter, you can literally go to thisisateam.site and build a successful business on your own. However, we have teams, we have groups that work together to help you do that. And again, but you have that option. There's even a presentation. What is today? Thursday. There's a presentation tonight at 10 o'clock. For those of you, again, who want to see this again, grab some people and say, hey, what are you doing at 10 o'clock? Invite them. You can start building your business today, and you'll find this all on This Is the Team site. Now, there's some events that are coming up. In fact, tonight there was an event in Dallas, Texas. Tomorrow there's a big event in Houston. So if you know anybody in Houston, Texas, get back to the person that invited you and invite some of your friends to come out and watch and see some of the leaders. That is Steve and Gina Merritt on the far left. They are the #1 income earners in the company. Company's been around 20 years. They've been around just 3. So they know what they're doing, and they're duplicating and having success. Tomorrow on Saturday in Shreveport, Louisiana, none other than Z.R. Kendrick is the guest speaker. Z.R. Kendrick is what's called an executive director, one of the leaders in the company. He's a business owner, had his own construction company for many years. He's able now to walk away from that and leave it to his son because he's already replaced the income that he had generated having his company for over 20, 30 years. Again, so those of you who are in the Louisiana area, or if you know somebody in Louisiana, get back to the person and invite them out to this live event. Then on Saturday, April the 26th, there's a big event. It's a regional event. It's called This Is Our Time event. It is in Atlanta, Georgia. Tickets are going fast. There's only $69 for this event. You're going to have Steve and Gina Merritt, the leaders of this team. You have Harvey and Verdita Monk, other leaders, and Ken and Lynn Robinson. These are elite, successful individuals who have all had tremendous success, and they're going to be in Atlanta for a 2-day event. For those of you who get to manage it before April 25th, you'll be invited to that Friday. They have a special leadership training on April 25th in Atlanta, Georgia. So you want to, again, get back to the person. You want to get to this event. You don't want to miss it. It's going to change the trajectory of your business. So now it's time to make your move and make a decision. And before you actually do that, you want to get back to the person that invited you. Just want to see if one of our partners if Dr. Stroman, if you can take a minute. I know you have to probably run because of your busy schedule, but if you can just share with the individuals why this opportunity is important and what it means to you and what we are doing. Dr. Stroman, are you there?
Yes, sir. Mr. Hawkins, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Dr. Stroman. The floor is yours.
Hey, thank you, sir. Outstanding presentation as usual. I'd like to say congratulations to Ms. Gates. Outstanding testimony. Welcome to the movement and to the team. Really quickly, we are in such a beautiful place, guys. You look at this world, you got 8 billion people, and there's two things that they want: healthy bodies and healthy bank accounts. This is the opportunity we have to become change agents around the world, okay? So my question to all of you, think about this. Is your health bank account in the black or is it in the red? If it's where you don't want it to be, we got the solution. And like I say all the time, the best way to cut down on health costs is to invest in your health. This is one of the greatest investments that you can make, be a part of something that's so huge. And so if you want to make a difference in somebody's life every single day, what an opportunity to be a walking blessing machine. And Mr. Hawkins, thanks for the opportunity. You guys have an amazing evening. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Stroman. Again, we know Dr. Stroman travels around the world. He's in demand. So anytime we can get him on, we want to grab him while we can. Again, he's one of our leaders. And again, those of you who work with Dr. Stroman are fortunate to be with one of the top earners in the company, but also a great leader and a man of God. So again, now it's time to make your move. Decide, hey, do you want to be healthy? There's everyone should say yes on this course. Everyone should, at the very least, be willing to use the patches. You have an opportunity to get healthy, but also get wealthy too. So you have an opportunity to generate a secondary income by becoming a brand partner with us. Again, you get the benefit of the patch, but you also get compensated when somebody decides to use the patch and you recommend them. Guess what? The company will send you a thank you check and say thank you for sharing with others. Thank you for changing lives. Let's get create wealth and eradicate bad health and bad debt. And this is an opportunity to do so.